Not even entirely sure if this is going on here, but hey, I am back for another live drawing stream. I'm working on my webcomic Bobert and the Monster, and while I do this live drawing stream, I'm going to be listening to an episode of Suspense from 1962 called like The Next Murder or something like that. I don't know. So I'm just going to listen to that and kind of riff along and draw. So that's going to begin right now. I'm going to start drawing here. I'm on page 5.
Suspense.
I feel like that might be too loud now.
In a moment, Act 1 of The Next Murder,
There we
starring
go.
Joseph Julian and Lawson Zerbe, and written especially for Suspense by Joseph Cochran.
Cochran.
Mind if I sit down? No, sit down. At the late edition you're reading? Yeah. Well, that was a terrible thing, that
Where's
murder
the circle
over
thing?
in
There it is.
Springdale. Oh, awful. I just don't understand how anybody could do it. No, nobody does. Not even the one who did it. Well, there's got to be a reason. Or none.
One pork chop with mash.
Brr, brr, brr.
The poor dead girl wasn't pretty. She had no men friends. She was too poor for robbery.
Would you like some dessert?
Yeah, coconut custard pie, beautiful, and a fresh cup of coffee.
And you, sir?
No, I'm finished. Thanks. Say, are you a detective? Hardly. How come you're so interested in the murder?
I don't even
Murder's
know.
a hobby of mine.
Look, we're out of coconut custard. I brought coconut cream. Coconut cream, okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, look, I wasn't trying to be fresh just now when I called you beautiful. I don't know your name, so I just
Thank
called
you.
beautiful.
I was going to say.
That's all right. It's a lot better. And hey, you.
Hey, you! Waitress!
Oh. Yes, sir.
Hey, you're not interested in her, are you? I like to kid him along. But she's not pretty. When they're
Yikes.
pretty, everybody gives them the rush. Homely girl appreciates a little attention.
What the hell is this episode about so far?
Yeah, I see. Well, I'm shoving off. Thanks for letting me share your counter space. Not at all. Night.
Assuming this is all going to lead somewhere eventually.
Tell your friend, thanks for the nice tip.
He's not my friend. I don't even know him. He just sat here with me. Say, I know it's short notice, but would you like to go to a movie with me when you're through here?
Oh, I couldn't. Thanks.
Some other night?
I'll think about it.
She's not that into you.
Hey, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Good night, beautiful.
Nice.
You think about that movie real hard.
I don't. See if I care. Right.
Outside, the rain that had been coming down hard when I entered the
This
diner
guy's
was now a
sleeping.
light drizzle. He was standing there under the awning. I felt I had to say something.
Switch up some brushes here.
The rain's about stopped, huh? Yeah. You, particularly interested in the weather? Huh? Oh, no, not particularly. Just something that I... Something to say, you mean, huh? Yeah. To cover up what's really on your mind? What's on your mind? Well, I was wondering, haven't we met before? No. I don't think so.
Right. He's holding on to the
Yeah.
ladder
Yeah.
here.
You know, I get the feeling... A feeling maybe there's some sort of a bond between us? Yeah, something like that. You know,
Get
in
this
there,
line
when
set
I
up
looked
first.
up and I saw you staring at me. I'm sorry, I'm not usually rude, but... Now you understand why? No, I don't. You know, I don't know what to make of it. It's funny. Maybe we met before somewhere. Maybe we brushed against each other in some crowd. Have you been in a crowd recently? Let's see. I was in one the other day over at Springdale. Yeah, Springdale. That's where that unfortunate girl was strangled. Yeah. You didn't happen to be in Springdale recently. It is strange. When you saw me looking at you, I was thinking of Springdale. Well, that's what I was thinking. At that exact moment.
I often, too, think of Springdale.
I look up, I see a man looking at me. We're both thinking of the same thing.
And I go,
wasn't thinking
Springdale.
only of the Springdale murder. I don't follow you. What? I was thinking of the next murder, too.
Some lined up.
Next murder. I looked at the guy hard. I saw he was serious. I wanted to get away from him as fast as I could. And yet, I wanted to stay. I wanted to know what was on his mind. At the same time, I didn't want to know. I started away.
I wanted to
and then
paint
I turned
him.
back. You a stranger in town? I blew in 2 days ago. How about you? Oh, I got in this afternoon. Where are you stopping? Don't have a room yet. You broke? Not broke, badly bent. Hey, listen, I got an idea.
Are they standing in the middle of the street or something?
I can sneak you in without the clerk knowing it. How do you manage it? There's a side door. I'll slip the bolt, and you can come up the back stairs. You're sure it won't?
It's funny, the most difficult thing to draw on this particular page
Feel any better, you can pay
is
half
the
the
stupid
rent.
ladder.
All right, then I accept. We can talk there. Yeah. Talk. We have a lot in common. You and I. I gave him the room number, and I went in first. I unlocked the door, and then went up to my room and waited. He was up in less than 5 minutes. You bolted the side door? Yeah. Good. Now remember to talk low. I don't want the clerk to know you're here. Well, we don't even know each other's names. Cotter. John Cotter. Fred Spahn. Cotter and Spahn. Or Smith and Jones. You're pretty sharp, I see that. Well, you're not so slow yourself.
Or John and Smith.
You know, I still can't get over how we met. It's 1 in 1,000 coincidence. No, Spahn. No coincidence. We were bound to meet. We have similar interests. Like murder. You seem to know a lot about
I believe
murder.
it's pronounced
I've read
murder.
everything I could get my hands on. What interests you about murder? The motive.
What makes you tick?
Why? Why does one person kill another? Why? Money, rage, jealousy. The obvious doesn't interest me. I'm talking about the hidden motive. Half the people who commit murder can't give the motive. You're more interested in the murderer than the victim? Definitely. Look, let's get off this. Look, spiritually, you're dead, and the foul, withering rot of murder has entered your mind, devouring your will to live. Well, look, you take that girl over.
So he's like an early podcaster.
Or the one in Boston, similar to the... Seattle? There was one in Seattle? Yeah, it was in the papers. 2 weeks after the Boston murder, there was one in Buffalo. Then a month later, in Pittsburgh. Then the last in Springdale. Meaning what? One murder suggests another.
Hello, Springdale.
And you think there's going to be another murder? The killer's still at large. Well, maybe there was more than one killer. My point, exactly. You're crazy. The girl at Springdale was strangled with a man's necktie. Man, you guys knock off 2 in the right and let me go to sleep.
All right. So he's obsessed with murder. Guy went to a stranger's apartment because they both thought about Springdale.
Same thing.
Story so far.
Why? Why does he do it? You always come back to it. A man can't help what he does. That's not a flattering admission. You know, sometimes your talk is too far out for me. Well, what you're saying is you have no will of your own. You can't help what you do. I got lots of willpower. I make my own world.
Having any dessert?
Only all I want is this. No, thank you, no.
Well, how about you, good looking?
No, nothing for me. Hey, what's your name?
Amy? Why?
I'm going to take you to the movies tonight. I ought to know your name. What time are you through here?
Well, I'm through at 9, but,
We can make the second show, if you're interested.
Well, yeah, I'd like to. I could go for a movie after slinging hash in this beanery.
I'll meet you at the fountain in the square.
Yeah, well, I ain't said I'm going to go.
You ain't said you wouldn't.
Ain't a word.
the diner and went back to the room. It was drizzling again. It was getting on my nerves. I made up my mind to tell him he's got to blow in the morning. We didn't talk much. He took out a tablet and started to write. I sat there, thinking of Amy. Every now and then taking a look at my watch. He must have been a mind reader. All of a sudden, he put down his pen and he said to me, "Sprung,
Springdale.
you going to keep your appointment with that waitress?" "What? With Amy? Why, sure. Why not?" What's the matter?
Always starts out the same way. You feel sorry for these homely girls. No friends, not too
Jeez,
bright.
again with the homely girls.
You feel more sorry for them than for yourself. And it ends up the same way.
Oh, you know so much. You ought to write a book.
I have. All but the last chapter.
That's what you're working on?
Amazon
Yeah.
Vella.
Have been for 10 years.
About murder?
Every last word.
I'd like to read it.
Perhaps you can, when it's finished.
Well, if it takes you 10 years to write one chapter, I don't...
Well, the last chapter will be finished soon, I think. Right now, I can forecast that out of the 100 cases I have on file, 90 will get at it in the next 5 years, provided, of course, they're not caught before.
You dig?
How are you going to arrest the man you think will commit a crime 5 years from now?
My friend, you put your finger on it.
On what?
Look, a man can't be arrested until he commits a crime. Now, my tables predict the crime, but they are powerless to stop a single homicide.
Tell me, Carter, did your charts tell you that there would be a murder in Springdale?
Well, to be truthful, no, they didn't.
Why not?
Because that one, I committed myself.
I just sat there and looked at him. He looked sane enough. By that, I mean, if you put his picture alongside half a dozen others somewhere, there was nothing you'd pick him out for. But I definitely was going to blow the joint. The rent was coming due. I'd move out when he was asleep and let him hold the bag. But first I had to meet Amy. I went to the square. She wasn't in sight. I waited.
Hey! Oh, I bet you thought I stood you up. And I got a customer just before closing. Boy, I thought he'd never finish.
Well, look, Amy, look, we just met. I'm moving on tomorrow. Instead of the movie, maybe we could walk along that lake in the park and get acquainted, huh?
I don't know if I should. I mean, I just...
So man just said he committed murders. I better rush off and meet the waitress that I just picked up.
I bet you do, too.
Yeah, I sure
Fascinating.
do. You know, I'm really just dying to talk to someone. You just don't know what it's like sitting in that one little room all by myself.
Yeah.
Well, sure, let's walk. I guess you're just like me, huh?
Anyway, I think I know you, Amy. I think I understand you.
You're leaving town tomorrow, huh?
Yeah.
It's always the way.
Yeah. And maybe you're going someplace yourself, Amy. Well, you don't know it yet.
Yeah. Of course she is.
Sign said no one permitted in the park after 9:30 p.m. The place was deserted. Amy and I walked about halfway around the lake.
I'm under the impression this guy's going to turn out to be a murderer.
The moon breaking through every now and then. I was getting kind of excited.
I don't know why.
Began tightening.
Nothing that should indicate as such,
What is it?
but
Color's choking me.
Oh, I hear your necktie's too tight. Let me loosen it.
It's better.
Hey, why don't you take it off?
Yeah.
Here.
wow.
Here, I'll carry it. Wonder how I'd look in a man's tie. A man's tie around my neck.
God.
What's the matter, Amy?
I'm tired and cold.
And just made a reference to a serial killer.
I'm going.
Suddenly I'm like, oh, I'm with a stranger in the park by myself.
They're filled with terrible things about people.
She's a
being
wacky
killed.
dame.
People getting killed with a necktie?
And there he goes. All right. So I was right about that, but
I
why?
must have blacked out. When I came out of it,
And does that mean the other dude who's been obsessed with the stuff
I probably ran into it
is
and knocked
actually
myself out.
like
I got up.
a detective and he's
The
onto him
collar in
and
my
he's been
tie was
trying to
gone. I started to look
hint
for it.
that he
But
knows?
something kept buzzing at the back of my head, telling me to get out of the park. I hurried to the hotel. When I left the hotel, I went down the back stairs and I left the door unbolted, so I was able to get to my room without the clerk seeing me. Then I had to get into my room without anyone hearing me. Carter was asleep, his face to the wall.
Honk shoe.
I could hear the guy next door snoring.
Honk
I gathered
shoe.
my things and I stuffed them into the suitcase. I went to the sink to get my toothbrush and shaving gear. My razor was gone. I looked around and I saw something glint on the floor. I reached down to pick it up. It was my razor, and my fingers got all wet and sticky. I jumped back up and stumbled over his chair.
Oh, blood. Okay. I was going to say.
Blood.
That's weird.
Cold and sticky.
That's cold and
Spilling on my
sticky.
razor.
Hey, what's going on in here? I warned you guys. Where's the light switch? I came in this time to get some sleep. If you two guys are... Hey,
What?
what's the matter? What are you doing with that razor?
I just came in.
Shaving?
I picked it up.
There's blood on your hand. Hey, you in the bed. Wake up. Wake up! I want to know what's going on in here. What's the matter with him?
I'm telling you, I just came in.
Yeah, well, it looks to me as if
What's
you were
wrong
just
with
getting
you?
ready to leave. Get out of my way. Charlie! Oh, no, you don't. You stay right where you are.
Charlie.
Come on out here. Charlie, get out of here. No, first call the police.
An echoey hallway.
So you never saw this guy Carter before. You meet him in the square, you get to talking to him, then you sneak him into your room. Why?
He was broke. He didn't have a place to sleep.
You felt sorry for him?
Yeah, I guess I did.
Yeah.
So sorry you cut his throat?
I didn't do it.
That's your suitcase. It's packed, isn't it?
Yes.
You going someplace?
I just wanted to get away from him.
Why?
Because he was covered in blood.
All he did was talk about people who didn't want to live, about murder. He wrote a whole book about it. All about guys who were going to kill someone someday.
Or some night? Like tonight around 10 o'clock? Tell me where you were tonight between 9:30 and 10:30.
I was
No.
walking in the park. I was
In the
walking
merry
with-
month of May.
The park, huh? Then what?
I walked the lap. I was thinking about this guy. I decided to slip out of the hotel without him knowing it and then leave town. And so I came back to the hotel to pack.
Mm-hmm. Anyone see you come in?
I'm not sure.
What do you mean you're not sure? You had to come through the lobby? Wasn't the clerk there?
That's what I mean. Sure he was there. He was at the desk, but maybe he was busy
Oh, right.
and he didn't see me.
Go on.
So I came in. Carter was dead. I didn't kill him. And I no sooner got in when this fellow from the next door comes running in. I must have woken him up when I came into the room.
I didn't hear you go out, and I didn't hear you come in. That crash woke me up out of a sound sleep, the first I've had since you guys come here. I came in and saw you holding the razor, and there was blood on your fingers.
You gotta believe me. The razor was on the floor. I picked it up, and I got the blood from it. I had no reason to kill him.
All right. Let's go back to this walk in the park.
Well, I mean, he
Can
used
you
your
believe you were
razor.
there?
Well, I don't know. Some people saw me, sure.
What? You were with someone?
So I'm
No.
following this story,
No,
but at the same time, I'm like,
You
why
started to
is
say
it a
minute ago
story?
Before you changed your mind, who were you with?
Nobody.
So he is a killer.
Wrong.
He was staying with a guy.
Right now, you're the most
Now they're
likely
like,
suspect for the murder of Carter. If you can prove you were in the
you
park
killed
at the time, you're in
someone.
the clear.
But why?
Were you
Et
with a
cetera, et
girl?
cetera. Very
Come
confusing.
on, speak up. We're broad-minded.
Anyway, I got to start
No
drawing these
crime
word
to
bubbles.
take a girl into the park, but it is to cut a throat.
How much time is left in the
I
story?
could believe that if you weren't stalling about who was with
Because
you
when
in
it
the
ends,
park.
I'm done drawing.
Still not talking.
Oops, dropped my pen.
Okay.
Oops.
We'll just book you for the murder of Carter, then maybe whoever you were with will come forward.
And look,
And we'll welcome him back, Carter.
suppose I was with someone
Wah-wah.
who didn't want to come forward.
Uh-huh. Were you with the married woman who would get in a jam with her husband?
I didn't say that.
Well, all I can say is you should be more careful who you take for a walk in the park. Come on. I'm booking you for the murder of Carter.
You're making a mistake.
I'll apologize later. The press will want to see you, so if you'd like to put on a necktie, that's all right with me.
Necktie? That's what he killed her with. Which is also why she can't come forward.
In Carter's book. They took every scrap of paper they could find. He asked me a lot of questions about it. I didn't mind talking about Carter and his crazy ideas. I wanted them to know why I was running away from them. They kept questioning me until 3 in the morning. Then they let me sleep. They woke me up again.
Strong. I apologize.
Eh?
What for?
You didn't kill Carter.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Mm-hmm. We doped it out from that book. He was his own case study 100. He killed that girl at Springdale, and he cut his own throat.
He was crazy.
Uh-huh.
What?
What we're interested in now is case 99.
What?
Come on. We're going for a walk.
Huh? Walk? Walk where?
In the park.
No, I won't go.
We want you to retrace every step you took last night.
Please don't
Yeah.
let me go.
All right, Tom.
That's my response. Yeah.
You've told me what I wanted to know.
Did he, though?
See, we found Amy. This is, your necktie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why did you kill her?
I don't know.
I don't know if I like the way that bubble is, but who cares?
I liked her. I was sorry for her. I didn't plan to kill her.
Oh, forgot a bubble.
Something I just did.
Mm-hmm. Just like Carter wrote it.
You just killed her.
Case 99 will not be able to give any explanation for his action.
This feels like it's going to be the end.
Suspense.
Yep.
You've been
I was hoping to
listening
finish
the
this whole
Next
panel by
Murder,
then.
starring Joseph Julian and Lawson Zerby, and written especially for Suspense by Joseph Cochran.
So long. Have a nice trip. Don't forget your phone.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Planning your vacation or a weekend trip? Well, long distance can be a big help. You decide where you want to go, then just pick up your phone and call ahead for reservations. Make sure of a good place to stay. And while you're away, it's so easy to keep in touch with home by telephone.
Yeah.
Well, have a good trip. And
Why is
don't
that just
forget
my
the phone.
default response today? Yeah. Clever. Okay, I got the bonk in. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to finish the ladder and everything before this ends. But I can do the swoopy lines. That didn't match up.
Suspense is produced and directed by Fred Hendrickson. Music supervision by Ethel Huber. Heard in tonight's story were Elizabeth Lawrence, William Redfield, and Reynold Osborne. Sound patterns by Walter Otto. This is Stuart Metz speaking. Listen again next week when we return with Run Faster, written by Lois Landauer.
Run
Another tale
Faster.
well calculated to keep you in
Suspense.
suspense.
All right. I'm just going to finish these.
Worldwide Sports with Chris
Oh, good, it's
Schenkel,
still
Monday
going.
through Fridays on the CBS radio
Shoot.
network.
Okay, now it's done. So I'm going to finish drawing these one couple of lines to hit him on the head because it's coming from up there. Still got to draw the ladder, but I was able to finish one panel, start another one, and almost finish that but that is my concept for this live stream. Is I draw these. Let me switch back to this. I draw these pages of my comic live just because why not? And I do it for about 20 minutes. And that's why I listen to an old time radio episode, because that's what I would be doing anyway. So why not live stream it and draw? And eventually, if people want to watch it, they will. I mean, I can just see what else we're going to do here. So that is what I'm drawing for today. You can check out my first book of this webcomic, Bobert and the Monster, in the link below. It's an ebook on Amazon. So